Hi, you guys. Welcome. My name is Heather Jones. I am the #1 intuitive teacher, and I teach you the 7 keys. I teach you how to transform your life in seconds, how to heal your pain in seconds. Because the truth is, you guys, we have been lied to. We have been taught to silence our pain. And what we've actually been taught is to silence our truth. And what is our truth? Our truth is what will set us free. So every day I go on live and I teach you the 7 keys for absolutely free. And when you learn each of these keys, you will unlock your healing in seconds. So if you've been feeling tired, heavy, triggered, overwhelmed, exhausted, you go to the doctors and they say nothing's wrong with you, you're fine, your labs are clear, but you still feel like absolute hell and you've been gaslit because of your health problems, it's because what you're dealing with is actually spiritual. So for those of you just joining, my name is Heather Jones. I'm the #1 intuitive teacher, and I teach you the 7 keys for free. When you unlock these 7 keys, you will unlock your healing in seconds. So every day I go on live, I take people from a 10-10 pain to a 0. From a 10-10 pain to a 0 in minutes. Thanks for the love. And how do we do this? We do this through truth, you guys. We do this when you stop silencing your truth, your messenger, your body's pain, you can heal yourself in seconds. So key #1, you guys, we're going through the 7 keys, is key #1 is your body literally has a secret language. Your body literally speaks to you through pain. And we have been told the second we were born to silence your pain as quick as you can. That pain is so bad. To run and take an ibuprofen, to run and take Tylenol, to run and take stomach medicine. The second that you get pain, it's bad. But the truth is, you guys, that is the biggest lie we have been told. Because the only way that our souls and God and higher self can communicate through us that something is not right is through pain. And pain is just the messenger. Pain is telling us, communicating with us that something is not right. But instead of asking our bodies to tell us the truth, which I give you for free in my 7 keys, we silence our truth. We silence our pain. We silence our traumas. Okay? And the longer you silence your messenger, the louder your messenger is going to get. So you start to pay attention. But the problem with that is we end up in 10-10 chronic pain where we can't move, we're immobile, we have chronic headaches, we have chronic back pain, we have chronic inflammation, we have sickness, we have disease, and we wonder why. It is because our little messenger, our body, is screaming at us to help. But the problem is we go to the doctors, we say, hey, there's something really wrong here. They do the labs, they come back clear. And they gaslight us and they say, that's normal. This is normal. Just take some ibuprofen. Just take some Tylenol. Okay? They continue, not intentionally. I think most doctors have a good heart and good intentions, but they're just doing what they taught. And they're not taught about the spiritual side of healing. So, key #1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. So the next time you have pain, you're not going to run to the cupboard and silence it. You're going to ask, what are you trying to communicate with me? And then you're going to use the 6 other keys that I give you for free to unlock your truth. So what are these 6 other keys? So first of all, my name's Heather Jones. I'm the #1 intuitive teacher. I spent the last decade and over $15,000 certifying in several holistic modalities. NLP, hypnosis, Reiki, emotion code, theta healing, Innerwise, human design. There's several more, okay? Only to recognize that there was a common thread among all these certifications. And when I finally realized it, I was so pissed off. I was like mad at God. I was like, God, people need this information. People need to know that #1, they have the intuition. They have a gift that never lies and always tells the truth. That always tells the truth with a 99.9% accuracy when you use the keys to test. God, people need these 7 keys because if they had these 7 keys, they can heal themselves for free in seconds. And God said, Heather, you prayed since you were a little girl to be used as an instrument in my hands to bring healing, to bring truth. And guess what? That's what I'm calling you to do. So you guys get a pen and paper, write these keys down because they are transformational. If I'm not in chronic pain, can I still use and teach? Absolutely, you guys. You guys, it's not just pain that's the messenger. It's becoming aware of the bad relationships, of the money blocks. Okay, your body's literally telling you something does not feel right here. This relationship feels off. You should be making hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? So key number 1 is becoming aware. So it's not just pain, okay? But if it's physical, that's usually because you've been silencing the other things for a long time. So let's jump into key number 2. Key number 2 is it could be physical. Thanks, Vero. It could be absolutely physical. So it's either going to be under a parasite, a toxin, or a nutrient deficiency. Okay? But which one? So in my lives, we don't play a guessing game here. We do not play the guessing game. And I teach you how to get to the root cause in seconds. Because if it is physical, I want to know what's causing it. What parasite, what nutrient deficiency, which toxin. So you guys, in my $27 guide, I teach you these keys and I teach you how to use these keys not only for yourself, but for your family members. For $27, that's it. So what this guide does is it teaches you the 7 keys, which I'm giving you for free, but it teaches you how to get your yes and your no in seconds, because that is where you become unstoppable. Because when you know how to get a yes or a no from God, from intuition, okay, no one can ever gaslight you. No one can ever tell you that you're lying. You'll know exactly what's wrong. So let's say I test yes to a parasite, that I have a parasite. I'm not going to just go do a random parasite cleanse, you guys. I'm not going to do that. I want to know exactly what parasite is causing my pain. I want to know exactly which parasite. And do you know that they have proven that we can test, our bodies are instruments that can test with a 99.9% accuracy when something is wrong. I'm not the only one that teaches this. There have been several chiropractors and doctors and scientists who have proven that the body can test with a 99.9% accuracy what is wrong. And then they can do labs and do a side-by-side comparison, and guess what? You can know. And I teach you this for free. My 7 keys for free, okay? I also teach you how to get a yes or no for free in my free guide. Now that takes a little bit longer because I teach you how to use your entire body to get a yes and no. The system that I teach you to get a yes and no in seconds, okay? I learned that in Germany called Innerwise, okay? And that is the system I teach you in my $27 guide. It's incredible. So let's go to the next key, you guys. Emotional. So if you want my guides, thanks for the love, you just click on my profile picture. It'll bring up my picture again. Click on that picture and it'll bring up my profile, and I have a Stan store. So right when you click on the Stan store, you'll see my free guide, my $27 guide. You can book a one-on-one with me if you'd like. And I have my spiritual mastery course. So you guys, we're going through the 7 keys, which I give you for free. The 7 keys, you guys, took me a decade to learn through several holistic modalities. So the very first key that I became aware of when I was 30, 31, was that my pain actually was a messenger. That when I became aware of my life and I stopped playing the victim and I started recognizing something's not right here and I started listening to my pain, everything started awakening for me. Okay? I started asking the right questions. I stopped silencing my truth. I knew something was not right. Okay? Then I learned, yeah, things can be physical. You can have parasites, you can have toxins, and you can have nutrient deficiencies. But I also learned that doctors do not test for those things. They will after they call you crazy for thinking you have a parasite, but then they're going to make you pay out of pocket. That's not covered by insurance, you guys. So I have the guides. You can test yes or no, which one, okay? So it could be physical. So we're going through the 7 keys. Let's go through the next one. If you have ever experienced physical, sexual, religious, emotional trauma in your life, which 1 in 4 women before the age of 18 will have experienced sexual trauma. They say it's less for men, but I think that's a lie. I think it's equal to men. I just think men don't share because they're taught not to. Keep your emotions to yourself. Vulnerability is seen as weakness, okay? So if you've ever had emotional trauma, physical trauma, sexual trauma, religious trauma, or spiritual trauma, any time in your lifetime, and you have not gone back to that little child who was abused, guess what? You most likely have an emotional, trapped emotion that's causing you actual physical pain, chronic pain, neck pain, back pain, disease in the body. Hey guys, okay? How do you know? How do I know? How do I know if I have a trapped emotion? You ask. You ask who? You ask God. You ask your higher self. Who responds? You do. Your body physically responds to a yes or a no. You guys, they knew this. They knew this. The system knows if we just can keep them silent, if we can keep them from their truth, if we can tell them that pain is so bad, to stay away from pain, to mask it as soon as you can, we will have won. Because the second they realize that their pain is just communication, that their pain will literally tell them exactly what's wrong with a 99.9% accuracy, they will heal themselves for free. They will release their pain in seconds, and we will be broke. Because they will not be trapped, they will not be silenced, and they will know exactly what they need to heal themselves. I cannot profit off of healed people, okay? So if you have fibromyalgia, I see you, Ozark. If you have gout, if you have headaches, if you have migraines, if you have back pain, if you have any type of physical pain, these keys will work for you in seconds. If you have bad relationships, if you have money blocks, if you have something that's showing up in your life that you don't want, your body will tell you exactly where the block is. But don't take my word for it, you guys. Get my free guide, watch the live, because at the end, at about 8:15, I'm going to do one-on-ones. I'm going to take someone from a 10-10 pain. We're going to use the 7 keys to unlock their truth, and they are going to get themselves from a 10-10 pain to a 0. And I do this every single day. Every single day. So let's talk about the keys, you guys. Key number 1, your body literally speaks to you through pain. Pain is the messenger. When you silence the messenger, you're silencing your truth. When you silence your truth, guess what? You're literally causing yourself more pain because the messenger is going to get louder and louder until you listen. Okay, key number 2, it could be physical. It could be a toxin, a nutrient deficiency, or a parasite, but which one? We're not going to take parasite cleanses or do detoxes if we don't need to. And if we do need to, we're going to ask what product we need to take, and we're going to test the efficacy, the efficiency. So in my $27 guide, you guys, there's a link in my bio. In my $27 guide, I teach you how to test your supplements, your products. Because most of you guys are taking products and they're shiz. They're crap. You're literally pooping them out in the toilet and they're going down the drain. So I test my products. If my products are not 90 to 100% effective and efficient for the root problem, I'm not wasting my money. And you could know. How can you know? You can test. How can you test? I teach you how to get your yes and your no. Your yes and your no, you guys, is literal intuition. It cannot lie. It will always tell the truth. So key number 3. What about when the labs came back high for inflammation? So you can say I have high inflammation. What was that caused from? Was that caused from something physical? Was that caused from something as a trapped emotion? Was that caused by something? Next, we're going to go through the keys, you guys. Generational trauma is the next key. Write that down. Generational trauma. Do you know that you can have things passed down through mom and dad generationally? They prove this through epigenetics. So science has proven that you can have fears, phobias, sicknesses, diseases passed down generationally. So what does that mean? That means that you can have physical pain in your body right now that's not even yours. And the second you test that is generational, that you get a yes, you can clear, that pain will leave your body in minutes. Minutes. You guys, get the free guide. If not anything else, get the free guide. Because it took me 10 years to learn these keys. It took me over $15,000 just to get the keys. Just the keys. I wish somebody had taken the time to teach me the keys, to teach me that I always had the answers and that I could free myself of not only pain, but my money blocks, my relationship problems, okay, my coworker problems, all my problems, okay? It is so simple. So how do you get my free guide? You click on my picture, you click on my picture again, and it'll bring up my profile, and I have a Stan Store link. Oh, Julie, I love this. Julie Joe, exactly. And guess what you're trying to do? You're trying to get money from people. You horrible, wicked person. So, Julie, I spent 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications. And I just told you that you can get my free guide where I teach you these 7 keys for free. I also told you, if you were paying attention, Julie Joe, that I teach you how to get your yes and no for free. Now, it takes a little bit longer to get your yes and no in this system. That is free. So in my $27 guide, that yes, you're going to pay for it because I'm putting up $15,000 in 10 years of experiences and certifications into this guide. So for $27, I teach you how to get a yes or no in seconds, the same system I learned in InnerWise. So you are more than welcome, Julie, to go certify in NLP, hypnosis, quantum healing, hypnosis therapy, theta healing, emotion code, InnerWise, breakthrough, human design, by all means. Or you can bypass all that, get the $27 guide, you guys, and learn all these keys instantly. Okay? I don't like gaslighting people, but when you try to gaslight me on my live, that's what you're going to get. So let's go to the next key, okay? Generational trauma, you guys. It's not fun. It's not fun. I had generational trauma. Time to block her. Yeah. No, she can stay on here. It's okay. So, and this app is for monetization, exactly. So my background is lots of things, several different holistic modalities. I'm a Christian. I love God. I love Jesus. Okay. I love God. I love Jesus. And I knew I had these spiritual keys and these spiritual gifts. So we're going to go in through the other keys. Okay. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Julie Joe. All right. So next key, you guys, next key, absorbed. Where are my empaths in here? Where are my empaths? Where are the people that they can go to church, they can go to family activities, they can go to the movies, they can go out to eat, and they just feel the energy. They feel the toxic people. Yeah, lots of you guys. Yes, I see you, Kayla. I see you, Jason. Yeah, so you empaths, I want to teach you something. First of all, I know you have a huge heart, and I know that you mean well, but we have to stop taking on people's energy, because sometimes what happens, it's called quantum entanglement, quantum energy entanglement. So do you know that when you sit next to someone, your energies kind of go like this? They kind of like vibrate off each other, and then after 20 minutes, they stay. So you can literally feel someone's energy. So you can feel toxic energy. Have you ever got the ick when someone was, you're like, ooh, I could just feel their energy. Well, sometimes when you walk away from that person, you can actually take some of their energy as yours. You can absorb it. So you go home exhausted. You go home feeling sick or nauseous. That's absorbed energy. We do that all the time, right? Everything's energy. We're all connected. Well, now with the 7 keys, you guys, you can test if you absorb someone's energy, and you can instantly send it back in seconds. Yes, you have to protect yourself. So sometimes I pick up on people's energy, and I don't mean to, but I take it home with me. And so remember, I listen to my pain. So the other day I got off a live and I had chest pain. I was like, oh, what is this? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it generational? Is it absorbed? I got, yes, it's absorbed. So when I tested what it was, I could clear it instantly. I said, this is not mine. Thank you, Chi. This is not my energy. So guess what? I sent it back to sender with love, and my chest pain was gone in seconds. So you can do this, you guys. So I do this every single day. I do this with hundreds of people around the world. And guess what? I'm not your savior. I'm not your healer. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium for you. I am for me. And you are for yourself too. And when you have these keys, you don't need psychics. You don't need mediums. You don't need healers. You don't need prophets. You don't need pastors. You don't need bishops. You don't need anyone else but you and God and Source to tell you exactly what's wrong. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, that's the way it is supposed to be, for you to get your own answers. That's your gift of discernment. Can never be taken away from you, ever. The problem is that when we are children, we are taught to silence our truth. We are gaslit, sometimes unintentionally, by our parents, by our teachers, by our coaches, by our pastors, by our bishops, by our prophets, okay, to not trust ourselves. So then I'm working with people in their 30s and their 40s and 50s, and I teach them these keys, and the first thing they do is, I don't know. I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself. And that is where I want you to take these keys and start trusting your intuition, because I know for a fact how powerful I am. I know who I am. I know my gifts. I know my connection to God and Jesus, and I can have people come on here and say horrible things, and it doesn't faze me. It doesn't faze me, because I know my worth and my power, and I want that for you. So what are you trying to sell? Okay, I give you these keys for free, you guys, okay? So I have a free guide. It teaches you the 7 keys, and it teaches you a system how to get your yes and no. I have a $27 intuitive testing guide. It's advanced. It teaches you how to get your yes and no in seconds. We don't have time to be dealing with pain, okay? Once you get your yes and no, you don't just have to ask the keys. You can say, is this relationship good for me? Is this my soulmate? Should I take this job? Should I do this? Okay? That is your gift. So let's go to the next key, okay? So we went through so many. Elevated like an elevator? Yeah, an elevated path. How do I get the guide? So you click my picture and then my picture again, and then it'll bring up my profile with all my videos, and I have a Stan Store link. So you guys, we're going through the 7 keys. I give you the 7 keys for free. It took me over 10 years and over $15,000 to get these keys, and I give them to you for free because it's not me. I remembered, and then I was told to help other people remember their gifts. So key number 1, your body speaks to you through pain. Pain is the literal secret messenger of the body. When you silence your pain, you're silencing your truth. And the longer you silence your truth, the louder the messenger is going to get. Okay? Key number 2, it could be physical. Okay? It could be a parasite, a toxin, heavy metal, or nutrient deficiency. Which one? So in my $27 guide, we have charts. You can test which one. With a 99.9% accuracy, you can do this. You can test, is it emotional? If you've ever had physical, sexual, religious, emotional trauma, we all have, because we're meant to. Our trials and our traumas equal our training. #training. That's it. You can clear it. You don't need years of talk therapy. You don't need to tell someone you've never met before for years your trauma over and over and over again to heal it. That is outdated and that doesn't work. That's meant to keep you sick and broken. You can have generational trauma. What does that mean? You can have things passed down from mom and dad generations back. They've proven this through epigenetics. You can have absorbed someone's energy and taken it as yours. Okay? What is a nutritional deficiency? That means your body's lacking a nutrient. And if you're in America, we have massive amounts of nutrient deficiency because our soil is depleted, we have chemicals in our air, we have poisons in our water, and our food is fake. So a lot of people are deficient in minerals. But I will tell you that most people that I test, it's not physical first. It's not physical first. You'll see that on the live when we do one-on-ones. Okay, it could be absorbed energy, you guys. Let's go to the next key. So you guys, this is my favorite key. This is my favorite key. It is the spiritual key. Why is it my favorite key? Because as a Christian, as someone who was born and raised into Christianity, who loves Jesus, who loves God, who read the Bible and read that Jesus cast demonic entities out of people into swine. When Jesus taught Peter, James, and John how to cast demonic entities out of people, it gave me comfort knowing that I saw these entities and I wasn't crazy. Because I saw the crazy and I saw the dark, and it was terrifying. And I was 3 and I was 4 and I was 5 and I was 6 and I was 7. And I saw the shadow beings. I saw the entities. I had night terrors. I had sleep paralysis. I would wake up. Oh, Julie Joe, love, you just don't get it, honey. So I gotta kick you out of my live, love. Bye, honey. Okay, so we have experienced, or me personally have seen them with my own eyes and felt them. Okay, so in my profile, love, you'll see my link. It says like Stan Store. There's a link right under my profile picture. I know tech is not very friendly for some people. And that's where you can get my free guide and my $27 guide. So you guys, we're on the key, the spiritual key. We only got 2 more keys left. We're on the spiritual key. The spiritual key, if you test yes for the spiritual key, you could have a demonic entity, an unclean spirit, a fiery dart of the adversary. I believe in those things because I saw them with my own eyes and I felt them. Now, these keys will still work for you if you do not believe in physical demonic entities. Maybe you believe in shadow or dark energy, okay? But I know for me what I saw and what I experienced. So as an adult, I had massive migraines. What is my spirit key on PMDD? Remind me, PMDD. Isn't that like the period that's like you go crazy? So that necessarily wouldn't be a spiritual key. Thank you, movie night. I would test my PMDD is what? Physical, emotional, generational, absorbed, spiritual. Okay. So you guys, there's an upside to the spiritual key. So how many of you guys, Belle, I had a spiritual attack too, yeah. Chronic migraines, no explanation. So I'm going to talk about that. So how many of you guys have had ringing in the ears, feel like you've been swimming underwater, massive pressure, massive fatigue lately? Your traumas and trials are #training. They're your training. Thank you. This is not the body code, okay? So this is the truth code. I'm familiar with the body code. This is the body code, again, is another certification that's massive and takes a long time to certify. I'm teaching people you do not need certification to learn how to get your yes and no and how to use the 7 keys to heal yourself in seconds, minutes, okay? I've done all the certifications, so many, and I didn't need them. I needed to learn 2 things. Number 1 is I always had the answers within me. I had intuition, my gift from God that always tells the truth. And the 7 keys will unlock your truth. Everything is within the 7 keys. It's that simple. So you guys, we're talking about the spiritual key. A lot of you guys are saying yes, yes, yes to the fatigue, to the ringing in the ears. So do you guys know, are you guys aware of the Schumann resonance, of the sun beaming on the earth right now? Of the frequencies we are receiving? The biggest spikes we've ever had. And our bodies are actually vibrating at a higher vibrational frequency. They can prove this. So our bodies are literally ascending to a higher vibrational frequency. But it's hard for our poor little bodies to catch up, so they're integrating. A lot of us are going through awakening and integration. This can mimic pain. Awakening can mimic headaches, fatigue, ringing in the ears. But how do you know? You ask, which key? So a lot of you guys are dealing with ascension symptoms and you think you're getting sick or you have the flu. Or why is my ear ringing for the last month nonstop? So you can test. Is it the spiritual key? Is it ascension? If you get yes, then you know that you just have to give your body a little break. Give your body a little bit of love. Okay? So somebody asked or mentioned migraines. Nonstop migraines. So I started getting migraines when I was 21 years old. So I'm going to tell you a little story and then we're going to go into the last key. So I started getting migraines when I was 21 years old. Every single day, 3 to 4 days a week, migraines. Now, for those of you guys who don't get migraines, they are so debilitating, they will literally put you in the emergency room if you don't follow your routine. So this was my routine. 2 ibuprofen 800s, a Tylenol 500, an ice pack, a Coke, pitch black room, no light for 3 hours, silence. And if I didn't get to my routine in time, I would be so bad, so sick, dry heaving, puking. And if it didn't, and I would tell my husband, if this doesn't get better, we got to go to the emergency room. Okay. Those are migraines. So here I am, 21 years old, and this is happening. And I go to the doctor. He refers me to a specialist, right? That seems really abnormal. He sends me to a specialist. The specialist does labs, okay? The labs come back clear. Oh, honey, you're totally fine. You're just having migraines. Let me put you on a medication called Imitrex, and you'll be fine. So then I'm put on a medication called Imitrex that literally stops the heart from beating. It slows and constricts the heart to beat slower so that the blood vessels in your neck don't get so constricted. So here I am at 21 years old taking a very heavy medication that also has a list of 100 side effects. So now you guys, I'm 32 years old. Still have migraines, not as often because I have this medication, right? So I'm 32 years old. I'm at a place where I cannot get to my medicine. I can't get to my routine. I'm terrified. I'm going to get a migraine. It's coming. I can feel it in my neck. So I reach out to my friend. I tell my friend, please tap in. She did Reiki. Please tap in. Please, I can't tap in. She taps in. She said, honey, you're being attacked by legions of entities. You are being attacked by legions of entities. And when she said that, kind of like in Stranger Things, where his spine just tingled up and you felt it, I knew exactly that what she said was truth. So I went to the bathroom, I put my hand to the square, and I tried to cast out in Jesus' name, and my mouth was bound shut. I couldn't say or do anything. So I could in my mind, because they can't control your mind, and I literally called out to God and Jesus that they would clear these entities and that I wouldn't get a migraine. And guess what? For the first time, no migraine. No migraine. So that is when I recognized that I could be physically hurt by spiritual warfare. Now, if you don't believe this, this is okay. Okay? But if you have the keys and you get your yes and no and you test spiritual, thanks for the wings secrets, okay? You can, if you test spiritual and it's demonic, I'm just telling you these things because when I work with people and we test demonic, they get scared for a second. I was like, oh, don't be scared. It's like the flu. It's like a little parasite. We're just going to get rid of it. We're just going to cast it out. Because that's how powerful you are, okay? When I talk about things that are of demonic entities or unclean spirits, I know they were terrifying. I saw them as a child. I was absolutely terrified. But then when I became an adult and I learned my power and my worth and I knew I could set boundaries, and when Jesus said that, yeah, Satan can, prick your heel, but you can stomp him on the freaking head, I believe that. And I know that's true. So as an adult, when I saw the tall shadow hat man in my kitchen, after I had come home from a session, and he was just chilling in my kitchen like, what's up? And then when he saw that I could see him with my eyes and we were like looking at each other, he ran out of my house so fast, I didn't even have to say anything, because that is my power and my terms and my boundaries. And I teach that. I teach that in my spiritual mastery course. But I'm teaching you that that is one of the keys, and you can test, yes, if you have spiritual warfare going on. And if you do, you can clear it in seconds. You can command it in seconds to leave. No way I saw this as a child. Yeah, so when I have a mentor or a friend, and she did a TikTok video on the tall shadow hat man, and it went viral. And I was like, no way, other people have seen this guy. And it's thousands of people. Now, here's my personal belief. The tall shadow hat man does not show up around low vibrational frequency beings. He shows up right before spiritual awakenings, like these huge spiritual shifts. And I'm tired of people saying that you need to repent or you're worshiping Satan or all these things and that's why they're around. No, I was 3 and 4 and 5 years old when I saw those demonic entities. I was a pure innocent child, but the veil was thin, okay? I talk a lot about this on my page. I talk about psychosis, okay? Psychosis happens when people open their spiritual antenna to 100%. And usually that can come on through severe trauma, a lifetime of trauma that just bursts you open. It can come through dabbling in plant medicine without proper foundation or tools. And all this means is that you just turned your radio frequency. Who's watched Insidious, the movie Insidious? Like, the movies literally teach you what happens. He was a light. His light was so bright with no boundaries. And guess what? All of the entities, those spiritual realms, dimensions, were trying to get in. So that's what happens with people with psychosis. So we have to set terms and boundaries. So we're going through the 7 keys, you guys. What are you describing? I'm describing the spiritual key. So there's 7 keys. You guys, I teach these keys for free. Get my free guide. Get my free guide. Follow me. Share this with your friends who are sick, who are struggling, who have depression, anxiety. Because I don't know anyone who's teaching these keys for free. If they are, blessing to them. I teach you how to get a yes or no. Okay? Now in my $27 guide, yes, I do charge for it. I teach you how to get your yes and no in seconds. It is a system I learned in Germany called Innerwise. So when you have your yes and no and you have the 7 keys, game freaking over. Because you have just unlocked yourself from the matrix. Because number 1, now you have access to your gift, which you always have, you guys. That's why I was so mad at God. When you get just as pissed off as me. Because you're going to be like, what? I can heal myself and I can know exactly what's wrong with me. Like, I've always had this power. Yes, queen. Yes. So if you want the guide, click on my picture and then my picture again, and it'll bring up my profile. And then I have a link. It's my Stand Store link. Okay. So let's go to the last key. Who's ready for the last key? If you're ready for the last key, hallelujah, heart, Last key, please. I've been waiting patiently. You should charge. There is spiritual exchange. Yes, I do charge $27, love. So my free guide, it's free because God wanted me to give these keys for free. Like people need these keys, and a lot of people, they are just in a place where they just need a hand up. They just need keys. They just need to know that they have power. And that is my gift. That is like my free gift that I love to give for free. And that energetically in exchange, I know that when those people are ready, they're going to come into my fold, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. So thank you so much, though, for saying that. And appreciating that I do give this for free. That does mean a lot. So thank you for saying that. I feel like poo. I get that. You won't after you get these keys. So the last key, you guys. So some people might not agree with this key, and that's totally fine. If you would have approached me, 15 years ago, I would have probably called you crazy too. Okay, I wasn't ready. So I grew up Christian, and I grew up believing that you only live one life. And if you don't live it perfectly and you sin, you're going to go to hell for all eternity. But if you, by some small chance, right, you live a perfect life, you'll make it to the higher kingdom. So I had an experience where my chest pain, we're talking about the seventh key, my chest was killing me, you guys. I literally felt like I had a demonic entity sitting on my chest. I thought that's what it was. I kept testing, is it spiritual? And I got to know. But after 3 weeks of not being able to fully breathe, and this was way before COVID, I could take just the littlest bit of breath, and I literally felt like my ribs were going to break. The pressure was so tight. So I did what I teach you guys to do in key number 1. I literally asked my body, what is this pain? Tell me what this pain is. And guess what my body told me? It said very clearly, this pain is not from this lifetime. What the hell does that even mean? Okay, and I'm a little hard-headed, you guys. I'm a 6 profile in human design. Okay, I have to learn that the fire is hot by touching it. So I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Okay, whatever. So a couple days later, I still had this pain, and I'm like, okay, body, please, like, tell me what this is. And my body's like, it is not from this lifetime. So I did what most good people do. We go on YouTube. And I looked up a past life regression meditation. So I did one, and I found myself in the most beautiful vision. Maybe not so beautiful. I was this redheaded princess, and I had all this affluence and wealth, but I was a woman. I was a woman, and I had no worth. My only worth was to produce male heirs. And I was seen as less than the dog. I was seen as nothing. I had one value, and that was it. So here I am feeling these emotions for this young woman. Like, wow, I know how you feel. I'm a woman. I have all these spiritual gifts, but I'm seen less than a man. So I resonated with that. So after I came out of the vision, right, I reached out to a friend who was in the same religion as me, same Christian, right? And I said, hey, can you do a session for me? I'm just really dealing with this chest pain. I didn't tell her a thing. And so I met up with her. She was in the middle of the session. About 10 minutes in, I said, hey, I think I believe in multiple lives, multiple probations. And she said, oh, so do I. And she said, I see a little redheaded girl running through the fields. You guys, and in that moment, it was like Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. I had a lightning bolt of energy fill my entire body, and it said yes. It said yes. And within minutes, my chest pain was completely gone. And in that moment, I knew that I had unlocked the last key, and that is past lives. So I have since read multiple scriptures. Read the book of Isaiah that was taken out of the Bible. He literally was sawed in half, teaching ascension, because what he taught was multiple probations. What he taught was, in order to become an exalted being, you have to what? You have to descend below all things to ascend. And the only way you can do that is by coming to an earth and bringing heaven on earth. Okay? After you've exalted and learned the lessons. Now I've learned all the lessons. I'm going to come to earth, and I'm going to teach everyone else that they can be just like me. And that's exactly what Jesus taught. He said, you can do exactly what I can do, and more, greater things you can do. But here we are, being taught that we can't even heal our own selves. Okay? So I'm here to tell you guys that when you have these 7 keys, Why did the pain leave my chest? Because I didn't silence the messenger. So the messenger is who? It is your higher self. It is God. It is Jesus speaking through your body. So I asked my chest, what are you? And my chest pain told me, I'm not from this lifetime. So then when I tested that it was past life, and I had that experience with her, and she told me she saw a redheaded little girl, I didn't tell her anything about my vision. It was like Holy Spirit confirmed to me in that moment that what I had seen was true. That past life that I was feeling in my chest, that sorrow, that pain that was crushing my ribs, it wasn't from this lifetime, but it was this lifetime that I needed to let go of that and step fully into my power and worth as a woman. Yes, Chanel, you just made my pain go away. I didn't do that, hun. When you hear truth, you guys, it unlocks your pain instantly. So when we do these one-on-ones, and I'm going to do some tonight, I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to show you there are people who are going to come on with a 10-10 pain. We're going to unlock the keys together. You are going to do the healing, not me. I am not your savior. Nobody here is your savior except for Jesus Christ, God. How do we heal ourselves then? You go within and you ask, and you get an answer every time, you guys. That is it. Number one, your body speaks to you through pain. That is the messenger. That is the gift. We have been taught to silence the gift. If we can keep them silent, if we can keep them away from their intuition, we win. Game over, because they will never learn the truth. They will never learn that if they know that their body is literally, thanks for the crown, telling them the truth, game over. You guys, I give you the keys for free. I give you how to get a yes and no for free. So there's no excuses. And if you're hearing this, it's for a reason, because you need this information and you need to share it with as many people as you can, because it's free. It is 100% a gift. Now, I do charge for a $27 guide, but what do I charge you for? So I give you all the guides for all the keys. Okay, I teach you how to do this exactly how I'm doing for other people, because you have a husband, you have children, you have grandchildren, you have a boyfriend, you have a mom, you have a dad, you have uncles and aunts who need this information. And when you have it and you see it, what does a good Samaritan do? What does someone who's healed themselves and learned how to do things do? They turn around and help their neighbor. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. That is the number one greatest commandment, okay? So you're going to get the free guide, or you're going to buy my $27 guide so you can start helping other people, okay? How we doing? So we got about 15 minutes, and we're going to do some one-on-ones, which I'm so excited for. But before we do, let's just, for a recap for those people who just joined, okay, we're talking about the 7 keys. We're talking about people who are tired, overwhelmed, sick, depressed, have anxiety. You're a 10-10 pain, and you go to the doctors and you get gaslit. You go and you tell them you have pain. I have migraines. I'm sick. And they say, oh, that's normal. That's totally fine. Just take this medicine, take this medication that has 100+ side effects, and you'll be fine. Okay? What they will never do is say, do you have generational trauma? Do you have any emotional trauma? Were you ever sexually traumatized as a child? Were you ever physically traumatized as a child? Were you ever religiously or spiritually traumatized as a child? They're not going to ask you that. Do I need to get my notepad? Shika, just get my free guide. I teach this in my free guide. So if you want to free yourself from the matrix, if you want to free yourself and have total dominion over your body, learn these 7 keys and learn how to get your yes and no. What is your yes and your no? It is your body's way of communicating when something is right or wrong. And that is our intuition. We are born with discernment. Discernment is our gift that was given to us by God so we could know when something is right and wrong. Thanks, Chippy. So when you know and you trust your intuition, you guys, I teach you tools how to get your yes and no. Eventually, you don't need the tools. You will get your yes and no before you even ask. It's like an instant knowing. Thank you guys for the roses. Yes. Yes, BB. So you guys, when you have the keys, it is game over. So when I do the one-on-ones for people, it's not only to prove that this system works, it's to prove and give other people permission that they don't have to carry their chronic 10-10 pain. Because when I saw other people healing themselves in minutes in front of my eyes, when I would work with my clients and like literally every session, they were going from like a 10-10 pain to a 0. I was like, this isn't me. This is not me, you guys. This is literally you. This is your gift from God to be able to heal yourself, to be able to recognize where your blocks are, to recognize that you don't have to carry the emotional trauma anymore, but you have to know. So a lot of people on here in this world are trying to get you to spiritually bypass your trauma. By doing what? Just think happy thoughts. Just write your affirmations on your mirror and just say them every day. Just put, I'm going to make $100,000 on my mirror and I'm going to make it. That's bull. That's baloney, baloney. You guys, this life is for trials and trauma. You came to this earth to have trials and trauma. That is your hashtag training. You cannot bypass the lessons that you promised God that you would come here to learn, right? To what? Isaiah taught it, to become an exalted being. You had to descend, experience the things, learn, grow, and do it again and again, right? So how do we not spiritually bypass our trauma? Well, we start by stop silencing our pain. Our pain is the messenger. So how do I do this? Well, when somebody has a pain or a trauma or a block, we're going to ask the body, thank you, that's so cute. Origami. We're going to ask our body, what is the truth about this pain? And then my body's going to tell me, oh, you have an emotional trauma. You have a generational trauma. You have something spiritual. And the second that I get the message, like my body says, this is what it is, and I get, yes, you can clear it, I learned the lesson. It's cleared. That part of my trauma will never come back again. Thanks, Velvet. It's over. It takes seconds. So when we do this and people go from a 10 to a 0, it gives you permission. I can do this too. She can do it. I can do it too. He can do it. I can do it too. Okay. So we have about 10 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions about any of the keys? Yeah. So multiple traumas, PTSD, 810. Hey, Kiki. I'm just going to write you down because I see you, love. Okay. So this is what I want you guys to do. Yes. Muff Huffer, I just purchased the guide. Do you think that'll help with widespread body pain for no reason for 10 years? Yes. Yes. Muff, do you want me to work on you tonight? If you give me permission, we can tap in, okay? We just worked with a lady, Gall. How many days ago was it for you guys watching my live? She had spent thousands of dollars and spent over a decade in chronic pain. Went from a 10-10 to a 0. She went from a 10-10 to a 0. No doctors could figure it out, right? You're totally fine. You're okay. They gaslight you. Some of them intentionally or truly do want to help you. They just don't know how. Okay, so we got Muff Huff, knee pain all the time. Hey, Stephanie, I see you. Okay, so this is what I need you guys to do. So I'm going to write a list of 10 people. So we're going to write a list of 10 people. So if you have 10-10 pain, you guys, I'm going to teach you how to do this. Please, I'm not your savior. I'm not your healer. I'm giving you the exact system and method that I use in my $27 guide. Or if you just want to help yourself, get my free guide, you guys. Please do this for yourself. I know it's hard because we're gaslit and told to trust other people and da-da-da-da. So I need you to put what your pain level is, 10-10, 9-10, and I give you permission. You are a teacher, yes. I'm an intuitive teacher. I'm the #1 intuitive teacher in the world. What you say becomes truth. It is truth. Okay, so I see a lot of numbers, but I don't see I give you permission. Sorry, guys. I have to have your permission in order to test. I teach you this in my $27 guide. Okay? I have to have permission to be able to tap in. Hey, Chippy. For sure, Chippy. I think I remember you because your name's just so cute. Okay, let me scroll back up. Okay, I'm afraid of not trusting myself. Tracy, literally every time I do my one-on-ones, that is the number one limiting belief is I don't know and I don't trust myself. And that there's a reason why the system does that to people. There is a reason why that is the number one thing they go after is our intuition. Because they know if we knew how powerful we were, if they knew we can get a literal yes and a no. Do you know every single time you have prayed to God for an answer, he literally responded that minute. He literally responded. He is a loving God. Heavenly Father, he loves you so much. He answered you instantly. But we have been taught since we're babies to not listen. So every time I pray and I ask, I get an answer instantly. And you can too. I'm not special. I'm not any more special than anybody on here watching this. I'm not any more talented. I'm not any worthy. What did I do? I did the work. I stopped blaming everyone else for my life and my traumas. And I said, there's got to be something done. God, there has to be a better way. And guess what? I asked and I received. Knock and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive every freaking time. If you truly are a Christian, you truly love God and you truly love Jesus, and you read the scriptures, it literally tells us in the scriptures, God didn't say, ask and I will give you 2, 3, 4, 5 years later the answer. He said, no, ask and you shall receive. Knock and I will open the door unto you. Sorry guys, I get on these little tangents because I'm so passionate about this, because it will set people free. It literally brings heaven to earth. Giselle Rios is a 10. Gigi, G-I-G-I, is a 10. Fifi, Gigi, and then Fifi is a 6 out of 10. Stephanie Colon. So for those of you guys who are watching, make sure you're following me. Number 1, do not lose me. Do not lose this information. Get my free guide, read it, and share it with people. Share it with your friends, with your family. Those who need this information, that are suffering. Girl, I need you on speed dial. No, you need your intuition on speed dial. BB, not me. You need God and Jesus on speed dial. And they're there. You just got to ask. Meow Wolf is a 9 out of 10. Okay, and then Muff. Oh, I'm just going to pretend that I know what you mean. Okay, so I see all you guys. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 people. So if I did not get you on my list, you guys, please get my free guide and learn this information for yourself. I promise it will work for you, because I'm not doing the healings. All I'm doing is holding sacred space, and we're going to test using the same exact system I teach in my $27 guide. Okay? And then we are going to just hold space for these people to do it themselves. If you have any questions, get the guide, you guys. It goes over everything. Okay, Kiki. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to use the 7 keys. You're not going to see what I'm doing because that's what I teach in my $27 guide, right? And I also teach you how to ask for permission and do this respectfully. Kiki Michelle is at an 8, 10. Okay, so first of all, Kiki, thanks for volunteering. So what you guys are going to do, not me, is when we call your name, or when I call your name and it's time to release, the number one question I get asked is, how do you release trauma or pain from the body? So there's 2 things that I do not have to teach that's universal. Number 1, fibro. Flowers and faith, get my keys, love, and test. I believe that you can be healed if you believe you can be. So there's 2 universal laws. Law number 1 is breath. Breath. I do not need to teach anyone how to breathe. You come out of the womb knowing how to breathe. Number 2 is unconditional love. Breath and unconditional love. Do you know the number one thing that most people do when they're in trauma, anxiety, depressed, pushing out babies? They stop what? They stop breathing. Do you know when you stop breathing, you're cut off oxygen to your brain, and then your brain produces cortisol, which creates the stress hormone, which makes you feel like crap, which makes you fat and have belly fat, and a list of all these other things causes inflammation. What does inflammation cause? Disease. What does disease cause? Sickness in the body, okay? So breath. So when I am testing and we get yes, you can release, this is what you're going to do. You're just going to hold sacred space for your body. What does that mean? How many of you guys have sat down quietly and allowed your body to process the emotions that you have been storing in your body the last 40, 50, 60 years? Probably not very many. So you're just going to hold your body and you're going to breathe in air to the pain. And with each breath out, you're removing that pain. And you're going to keep doing that until the pain is completely released your body. Now, what if you don't have pain? People said, well, what does this work if you don't have pain? Yes. If you have a money block, if you have a bad relationship, if you have something and you need to release that from your body, you just command it. I command this to be released in all dimensions, all timelines, and all space. And then you test if that was cleared or not. Okay? So Kiki is in an 8-10 pain. So we're going to ask which key. There's 7 keys. Key number 1 is obvious. It's her pain. So we're testing her pain. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. So the first key is past life. I say this on my lives. I guess this is the time for people to clear past lives, and especially the persecutions cross, because we have literally cleared hundreds in the last couple of weeks. So does she need to know more? Yes. Is this the persecutions cross? Yes. Okay, so let me just tell you guys a little bit about the persecutions cross, because I have a feeling we're going to be clearing a lot of it. The persecutions cross means you have lived multiple lifetimes trying to teach this truth and you've been silenced. I don't have to tell you what being silenced means, but in this lifetime, you are carrying that persecutions cross. You are carrying the memories of being silenced for your truth, which means, Kiki, most likely, you are not stepping fully into your spiritual gifts. You are not fully being seen, fully being heard, and you have gifts and you have power. And people need your light. You have to stop hiding your light under a bush. Right now. So Kiki, you're going to breathe unconditional love into this pain and you're going to breathe it out. This will bring you to she said she was an 8-10, so it'll bring her to an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs another key? Nope. A 0, Kiki. Boom. How do I know, you guys? Because I tested. How do I test? I get my yes and no. Where does my yes and no come from? It literally comes from God. I teach you this for free. If you want my $27 advanced intuitive testing guide, I teach you the same exact system I learned in Innerwise in Germany. I do this every single day. Kiki Michelle, I had a feeling. Yeah, and it's super strong in your chest because I could feel it. So Kiki's going to let us know when this comes down to a 0 through numbers. So she's going to say, I feel it a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, okay? That's how you use the keys, you guys. It's so, so, so stupid simple. Yes, very strong. Yeah, so just keep breathing into your chest and breathing that out. Okay. When she gets to a 0, you guys, she's going to do massive zeros, and we're going to love bomb the crap out of her. Because that's huge. And don't just watch this thinking, oh, I can't do that. You can. You can. It is so, so stupid simple that little children can learn the yes and no, and they can learn the keys. Thank you. Hey, love, how are you? She's in my spiritual mastery course. Pergray is. She's incredible. And she looks incredible. Go check out her profile. She's a little baddie. So you guys, when you have these 7 keys, your kids can do them. I taught my kids how to test yes or no and how to clear. I do not gaslight my kids. When they have pain, I test. When I have pain, when my kids have pain, I teach them how to test. We do not silence our pain, you guys. Our pain is the messenger. When your kids have a tummy ache, please don't give them stomach medicine. use the keys. Ask, is it emotional? A lot of kids are carrying a lot of heavy emotions. They're feeling the world. We have a lot of awakened spiritual babies here that they feel everything way more. Ask if it's generational. Ask if it's spiritual. Ask if it's absorbed. Okay? And then teach your babies how to be powerful. Teach them. You can release that through breath. Let's breathe a little bit. Hold sacred space for your children. Teach them how to hold sacred space. Okay? That alone is going to do way more for your child than anything else, I promise. Okay? So, Muff, Huffer. Are you here? Muff Huffer. And then Chippy, you're next. Oh, thank you, Divine Mystic. Yes. Okay, I'm going to pin you to the top. Okay? And so Muff said he was at a 10. So he's at a 10, and I have permission. Yes. Okay, perfect. So you guys, in my $27 guide, I teach you how to do this appropriately, the right way for other people. Because remember, we do not heal people. We do not heal people. Okay? We hold sacred space and we give people the keys to test, and then they heal themselves. Okay? I know it is. Is that what it is? It's okay. It's a prank. No, he's not pranking. It's like bend over. All right. Oh, you're welcome, flowers. Okay. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Generational. Please explain. Just got here. Okay, Karen, we are working on Muff, who has some generational trauma. How do we know? Because pain speaks. Pain is the secret messenger of the body. And then we use the other keys to test what it is. So I asked, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Got yes to generational. We need to know more. No. So the people who were clearing, they're holding sacred space. They're breathing breath into their chest, to their pain, and they're breathing the pain out through breath. That is going to bring you to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. He needs another key. Nope. That was it. 1 generational trauma. Yeah. It's true. If you're feeling heavy, tired, triggered, or overwhelmed, this is a place for you. Those are messengers. Your body's literally telling you, I'm tired, I'm triggered, I'm overwhelmed, I'm in pain. Please listen. And then when you have the 7 keys and you know how to get yes or no, you can clear in seconds. Kiki, how you doing? Chippy, you're next. My Puffer needs another key. How do you get on your list? So when I go on, I just ask people for a 10-10 pain and that they give me permission. So what's the solution? The solution is in asking the right question. Which key holds my pain? When you unlock the key, you unlock your truth, you release the pain. The solution, I've learned universally, is to breathe and give unconditional love for the pain. Hey, little scholars, welcome back, love. So Chippy, are you here? Okay, Kiki's at a 6. So Kiki went from a 10 to a 6 in literally minutes. It's been less than 4 minutes. Good job, Kiki. Some anxiety, but also feel relief. Yeah, anxiety is normal. So just keep breathing and trusting and breathing and trusting. If you get stuck, breathe. Okay? Good job, Kiki. All right, and then Muff, how you doing? Hey. Yes, Singh 91. So if you're new here, I teach you how to get your yes and no, which is learning how to trust your intuition. It is your literal gift from God. And when you have your yes and no and your 7 keys unlock truth, because key number 1 is when you silence your truth, you literally silence your messenger. Pain is just communication. Okay? Pain is just communication. It's our body telling us what's wrong so we can clear it. We cannot spiritually bypass our pain and just wish it away or pray it away. We have to know why it's there so we can clear it. So Chippy has, did you say a 10-10 pain or what was your block? Because I didn't write it down. So Chippy, we're testing for Chippy, and I got permission. I can test for Chippy. Yes. Yes. Okay, so Chippy is at a 10-10 pain. So the pain is the messenger. So we're going to ask which key is going to unlock his pain. So we're going to ask, is it physical? No. Is it emotional? No. Is it spiritual? No. Is it generational? No. Is it absorbed? Yes, it's absorbed. So if you're wondering how I'm getting yes or no, I teach you for free in my free guide. But if you want to learn the system that I learned in Germany called Innerwise, where I get a yes and no in seconds, that's how I'm getting the yes and no for a Chippy, you can too. And you can do exactly what I'm doing. You can help people go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 in minutes. So we got a yes to absorbed, which means what? In the absorbed key, you can take on people's energy as your own. And so that's what Chippy did. And we're going to ask, do we need to know more? No. So if we don't need to know more, your body is telling you it's okay to clear it. If it says we need to know more, we're going to ask and get all the information the messenger wants to tell us so we can let go of the pain. So Chippy, you're going to breathe unconditional love into that pain. That's how you clear. And you're going to breathe out the pain. Now, is that the only way to clear? No. Remember, I was certified in over 10 holistic modalities. I spent over $15,000. So I learned multiple ways to release. You can cry, you can color, you can dance, you can scream, you can bite something really hard. But the fastest, most universal way I have seen people release pain in seconds is through breath and unconditional love and holding sacred space for your body, okay? So Chippy, this will get you to, he needed to know more. No, this will get him to a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 0. He needs more keys. Holy cow, you guys. Chippy, that was it. I don't know what's up with you guys, with you one hit wonders with these keys. But Chippy, this will bring you down to a 0. I'm Heather. He needs more keys. Nope. So Kiki, let us know how you're doing. Muff, let us know how you're doing. Chippy, let us know how you're doing. Next is Giselle, J-I-S-E-L-L Rios. Giselle Rios. So you guys were using the keys. I teach you them for free, 100% for free. It took me over a decade and $15,000 to learn these keys. I'm in Utah. Aw, thank you, Care Bear. Take her masterclass, best thing ever. So I do teach a spiritual mastery course. We go super deep, super fast. Okay, I don't see Giselle. Is Gigi here or Fifi? Gigi or Fifi? Giselle, you're here. Okay, perfect. Sometimes TikTok does filter people out. So, okay, so Giselle is here. Okay, you guys, I'm going to show you who've just joined how to use the keys. Info on the class. So I have a spiritual mastery course. It's $397, but I offer $35 a month payment options. This is for the people, Giselle, we're going to get to you in just a second. This is for the people who've always felt as a child, as a little girl, you've always known that you were meant for something bigger. You have experienced extreme traumas and trials. That was your training. But you know you have gifts, spiritual gifts. You know you were meant to be seen and heard, to help people. So this class is for people to get your purpose, to know exactly why you're here, to awaken your spiritual gifts 100%. Okay? We go really deep, really quickly. You're going to meet your creator. You're going to meet your spiritual family. You're going to learn frequency healing. You're going to learn frequency codes, and you're going to learn how to quantum leap. You're going to learn how to release trauma and be certified in this system. Okay? This is only for those who feel the call, because I'm not here to like urgency you or push you. If you feel the call and it is a yes in your soul and your whole body, that is your opportunity to work with me. Okay? We go live every Monday. But if you feel called, this is for you. Okay? If you don't, that's okay. So I have turned on my spiritual antenna to bring in my people, my tribe, and I'm going to teach you how to do that too, because you are here for a gift, and you did promise before you came to this earth that you would remember and you would help them remember. So for those of you who deny your spiritual gifts and deny your purpose, you are literally hurting other people, because you are a gift. Your tree produces fruit for who? Other people, not you. You are a literal gift. And your fruit, when you recognize your fruit and your gifts, you give it out, okay? It's nourishment. So we are working with Giselle. Thank you for letting me share about my course, you guys. I love it, my spiritual mastery course. Giselle is at a 10-10 pain. Where do I sign up? So yeah, if you guys click my picture in my profile, it'll pull up my profile. I have a Stan store. That's where you'll get my free guide, my $27 guide, my spiritual mastery course. And if you would like to book a one-on-one with me, it's an hour long. I'd love to hold space for you and do that. Chippy, shut the front door. You guys, Chippy is at a 0. Chippy is at a 0 pain, and I think that was like 5 minutes, Chippy. What did we do? We used the keys. What did we test? He had absorbed energy. We didn't even need to know more. His body's like, this is absorbed. It's not mine. He cleared it. He sent it away. He held space, and it was cleared. Yay, Chippy! Freaking incredible. You guys, this happens every single freaking day with every single person that I work with. Now, sometimes they don't get to a 0. They might get to a 4 because they need integration. Your body can only clear so much at a time. Can you work on my son who has stage 4 lymphoma cancer? He's in major pain. Oh, TLB. Okay, so TLB, I have permission to work on him. I do not have permission to work on him. Because this is why people who usually have cancer and severe cancer, there's usually an underlying emotion. So, TB, get my free guide and learn the 7 keys and start testing with your son and start asking the intuitive questions, and I promise you will get answers. But I am sending you so much light and love. Okay, so Giselle, you poor thing. You've literally been waiting. So Giselle, we're going to use the 7 keys with Giselle. What are the 7 keys? Yes, everyone send Chippy so much hearts. And if Chippy, if people have questions and if you're willing to answer, like Chippy just went from a 10-10 to a 0. So please send him hearts at Chippy. We love you. Amazing. You're incredible. My one-on-ones are 150. Okay, so Giselle is a 10-10 pain. We're going to ask which key. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So what does that mean? It means Giselle absorbed an energy. Look at all this love, Chippy. Yes. You guys, that's what this community is about. Holding sacred space and teaching people that they can do these things themselves. Okay? Everyone in this group, we are empowered. We are incredible. We are beautiful. We're worthy and we're enough. So Giselle, we need to know more. Yes. So she absorbed this energy from mom, from dad, from brother, from sister. Giselle, do you have a sister? We need to know more. Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 15 through 20, 20 through 25, 21, 22, 23, 24. Hey, Norman. Giselle, do you have a sister? Yes, 3. Okay. When you were 24 is when you absorbed this. Does she need to know what sister? No. So you took on something at age 24 from one of your sisters that wasn't yours. She needs to know more. Nope. So you can clear that. I'd like to set up a one-on-one for my ex. Only willing participants I could do a one-on-one with. So Giselle, hold unconditional love for your body and just release this absorbed energy. So when I release something I absorbed from someone, I send it back to sender with love. And sometimes people think, why don't you just send it to God? That's just how I do it. Is this a free reading? I'm not doing readings. So I'm teaching the 7 keys for free. Giselle is at a 10-10 pain. So we're tapping in to see which key unlocks her truth. We got absorbed energy. Okay. We got absorbed energy. She's going to clear that. That's going to bring her pain to a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 6. Hey, Paula Watkins, get my free guide, love. Because you could literally do everything with my free guide. It's going to take a little bit longer because you use your whole body to get a yes or no, but please get my free guide. So Giselle, this is going to get you down to a 7, a 6, a 5 pain, which means what? It means that there is another key. It means that there's another key. Giselle, how are you doing? Are you still here? So we're going to ask, what's the next key, right? It's physical, emotional, spiritual. So how do you find my free guide? So if you click my picture in my profile right here, and then it'll bring up my picture again. Click my picture again, and it'll bring up my main profile with all my videos. And at the top, you'll see I turned intuition into my truth, and there's a link. It's my Stan Store link. Just watching this, I left and went to bed. I got extremely hot sweats. I feel pain leave me. Yes, G. Yes, G. You guys, when your body hears truth, you will clear. Sometimes that's all you need is truth. I think Giselle's being filtered. So Giselle, there's another key. So it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. So past life. And you guys, the only reason why I'm able to intuitive test for her is because she gave me permission. I feel lightheaded. Okay, perfect. You guys, trust your body is releasing. You could be lightheaded too from the breath. So maybe just slow your breath down just a little bit. And then just feel love coming into your whole body. So Giselle, we got past life. Does she need to know more? Nope. So I didn't get persecutions crossed, but I got whatever this past life thing is that you can clear, and this will bring her to a 0. Yes. Does she need another key? Nope. This is it. So Giselle, that was it, Queen. So when you get to a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, you let us know so we can mass heart attack you with lots of love. All right, Kiki, where you at, love? Hey, Gigi. Thanks, McNanny. Yay, you're back. How are you feeling today? Stuck at a 3. Okay, so Kiki is at a 3, you guys. Stuck at a 3, it just feels so big, heavy. May take some time. It's working through it. Yes. So you guys, when we do these clearings, there is no rush. So Kiki, I don't want you to feel any rush. If it feels really big and heavy, hold more sacred space and love and see if there's an emotion or feeling that comes up. And if it's so big and you feel like you need to cry or you need to like be mad or walk around, okay? Because you are clearing a persecutions cross. This is a lot. This is big. This is huge. Okay? But you guys, she went from a 10-10 to a 3 in literally about a little over 15 minutes. She did. I did not do anything. All I did was give her the keys, tell her which key, so she could hear truth from her body, her messenger, and she is able to clear this. You can do the same thing, you guys. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. I wouldn't be on here going live asking people who have a 10-10 pain, telling people they can go to a 0 and making myself look like a dang fool. I just would not do that. But I have literally worked with hundreds of people across the entire globe. It does not matter what religion you are. It does not matter what color you are. It does not matter what you believe in. These keys work for everyone. They're not religious keys. They are the truth code keys. They're just truth. Maybe you don't resonate with one of the keys. Maybe you don't resonate with spiritual demonic entities. Maybe you don't resonate with past life. It doesn't matter, because maybe you resonate that we are eternal beings that live forever. So maybe before you came into this earth, something happened that you resonate with. Maybe you don't resonate with demonic entities, but you resonate with energy, dark energy, light, dark. That key will work for you, okay? And trust that your intuition knows exactly what you need. At the end of the day, it is your intuition, your connection with God, source, who will never lie, will always tell the truth, and you will test with a 99.9% accuracy. Okay? Aw, Noah Nay, I've been crying ever since you started holding space for others. That's what this space does, love. It gives you permission, right? When I said this space gives people permission to believe and know that they can do this as well. Are clearings permanent? Yes. But I will say this. If you are here and you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and you just cleared something and went from a 10-10 to a 0, you better believe that your body is like, oh, she's listening now. So it's going to start bringing stuff up. When it's cleared, it's cleared. But also, that does not bypass your trauma and trials. You are here to learn. Your trials and traumas is #training. So I'm only 41, you guys. So you better believe that I'm going to have traumas and trials and I'm going to have pain. But because I speak to my pain and I have a relationship with my messenger, with God, with Jesus, with my intuition, the second I get pain, it's gone in seconds. Because I can test, is my pain physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? When it says yes, I can clear, I clear it and I have no pain. So I am never sick, ever. I never get migraines anymore. If I do feel one coming on, for me, it's usually magnesium, like right before my periods. But I still have children who stress me out. I still have a husband who stresses me out. I still have to pay bills, right? I still have to live in this life. So these keys just help you stay high vibrational, high frequency, neutral, healed. Does that make sense? But yes, once something is cleared, it is cleared because I command things to be cleared in all dimensions, in all timelines, in all space. How do I step into my spiritual gifts? Could that be holding me back? So Kiki, I do teach a spiritual mastery course if you feel called. Because you are meant to step into your spiritual gifts 100%. But a lot of people are doing that without terms and boundaries because they're dabbling in medicines or their trauma just gets so big and you're kind of like forced to awaken. And when that happens, all you're doing is awakening your antenna. It's like turning on the radio station. All dimensions and timelines and realms hear it and they come flooding in because they're like, oh, she's awake. She turned her antenna on. It's almost like a light outside. All the flies, everything just comes pouring in. So I teach you how to set sacred terms and boundaries to your spiritual antenna and to your spiritual gifts. Because I'm a mom, I don't have time to be healing people from the other side of the realm when I'm a mom or when I'm being a wife or when I'm cooking dinner. So I have very sacred terms and boundaries to when I use my gifts, how I use my gifts, and when. And you can too. So Karen, this also works for money blocks. How do I do this clearing? Ooh, hey, custom made. So get my free guide. I teach you how to get your yes and no, which is your intuition, tapping into your intuition. And then I teach you the 7 keys. When you know the 7 keys, it unlocks all truth. It is game freaking over. Sheena, what do you mean by how? Okay, so my spiritual mastery course is $397. I do have payment options, $35 a month. Is this a healing clearing while going through EMDR therapy? I'm new to your community. Okay, so I do not do EMDR therapy. I'm familiar with this. I teach intuition. I teach how to get your yes and no. That tests with a 99.9% accuracy, and I teach you the 7 keys to unlock your truth. So that's what this is. It's just the truth code. Hey, Brenda, welcome, guys. How do I do this too? Oh, so if you want to learn how I'm doing this for other people, it's in my $27 guide. So if you want to learn how to do exactly what I'm doing, how I test yes and no in seconds, it's in my $27 guide. I teach you how to do this for other people. You get all the keys, all the worksheets, all the questions. You also learn how to tap into money blocks. You also learn how to test medications, vitamins, okay? All the things. So that's in my $27 guide. Yes. Look at that, Muff Huffer. People were making fun of your name. 310. 310 out of pain. With 1 key. What was that key? It was something absorbed. And we didn't even need to know more. His body said, we're done. We can clear this. Please listen to me so we can clear this. Please listen to me so we can clear this, until it was a 10-10 pain. And he still couldn't get the message because why? You guys were gaslit and we're silenced, because if they keep us silenced, they keep us from what? Healing. Heck yeah. Can everyone say Can everyone send him hearts and love? 15 years of pain. Are you freaking kidding me? Could high blood pressure be spiritual? Absolutely. You could test. Can everyone at heart Muff Huffer? 3 out of 10 in minutes. I am not a psychic. I am not a medium. I am not your savior. I am not your healer. There's only one person that came to this earth to heal, and we all know who that person was. And he taught you, and he taught me, that you can do everything I can do, and even greater things can you do. And one of those things was to be able to heal yourself. So what do I teach you? I teach you how to get your yes and your no. That is your intuition. That is your gift from God. That's your discernment that never lies. It always tells the truth. There are scientists and doctors who have proven that your body is a literal instrument, that your body can test with a 99.9% accuracy what is wrong with you. They have done clinical research studies. They have proven this. I'm not the only one that teaches this. What I teach and what I created is the 7 keys, because I certified in over 10 holistic modalities. I spent $15,000 more than $15,000 to learn this simple, stupid system. Number 1, your body literally speaks to you through pain. Pain is the messenger. The system knew if we can keep them silent, if we can keep them from ever figuring out that they have the answers, that their pain is just the messenger of what's wrong, and that if they learn to speak to their bodies, that they can, in fact, speak to their bodies, and their bodies will tell them exactly what's wrong, and their pain will leave in minutes with no medication, we will lose our money. We cannot profit. So they keep you silenced, okay? So the 7 keys are just parameters. They're keys. When you get the key, you will knock your truth in seconds. That's why I created the keys. Because after certifying in these modalities, I'm like, wow, it took me 6 months to a year to certify, $3,000 to $5,000 later to learn this huge, complicated system, when at the end of the day, my children can test yes or no. My children can know exactly what's wrong with themselves with these 7 keys. That's how simple God wants it to be. He did not make healing or the gospel or anything overcomplicated. He said, ask and you shall receive. Knock and I will give you the answer. So what do? You ask and you receive the answer through what? Your body. Your body literally speaks to you. How else would it communicate unless it was through pain? What if you're bipolar? So I have my own theory on bipolar, okay? If you're bipolar, you can ask, is it physical, right? There's an imbalance somewhere. Is it emotional? If you've experienced sexual trauma or physical trauma or emotional trauma, you can literally split your personality. It's called disassociation. So you literally had to protect this self, so you created a new identity. Or bipolar could be you have ADHD, you're in tune with multiple dimensions at a time, or you could have generational trauma, or you could have spiritual entities that are attached to you that make you feel a certain way at certain times. That could be fears and phobias. Or you could have something past life. So yeah, use the keys. Ask for yourself, because you will know exactly what's causing that. Are you working with anyone? Sorry, Julie, how are you doing? Giselle, how are you doing? Sorry, Gigi and Fifi. Hey, Kim. Kim, I'll put you on my list, love. So Gigi and Fifi. So you guys, we are using the keys. Thank you, Daily Dose. If your spirit is absorbing everyone's pain and it makes you sick, you got to set boundaries, love, and you got to test. And if it's not yours, it's kind of stuck at a 3. Okay, Muff, let me just check real quick. Muff needs another key. Yeah, so we do need another key for you, Muff. So pain is the messenger. So he's at a 3 and it's stuck. He could feel that it's stuck. So if you feel stuck in your pain after clearing, there's usually another key. Sometimes, though, it's just integration. You need a little time. So physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So it's another absorbed. No, oh, it's the same one. Okay. So you still have some of that absorbed energy stuck. And if it's shifted somewhere or it's moved, just keep breathing into that. Okay, so is Gigi or Fifi here? 0, 10. Kiki. Kiki. You guys, can we please send Kiki so much freaking love? That was literally under 30 minutes, Kiki. She went from a 10, 10 to a 0. Keyword she, not me. Not Heather the Savior, Heather the Healer, Heather the Psychic. No, no. Kiki, the healer of her body, the holder of sacred space for her pain to be released. Good job, Kiki. Good freaking job, love. AJ, I don't know how to set boundaries. I am spiritual super empath. So, oh, I'm not going to stop till it's 0. Hell yeah, Muff Hover. I love that. So if you don't, you guys, boundaries are so simple. And you guys, I actually, in my free guide, I teach, it's me and my business partner created, it's the Live Empowered course. You know, the one of the most foundational things that people don't know how to do is set boundaries and to say no. So if you've never done personal development and you want a free course, that's incredible. That's transformational. You guys get my Live Empowered course. Okay, so get my free guide and it's in there. What does hip pain mean, you would ask? So use the keys. My hip pain is physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Thanks for the code popular, Michelle. I don't know how to set boundaries. You guys, boundaries are this. No. 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 Did you study psychology? Everything but. So I certified in NLP hypnosis, quantum healing hypnosis therapy, theta healing, MAP, emotion code, inner wise, human design. To learn how to heal myself, I can't imagine a 0 pain level. Tammy, love, you can. And that is literally the system that it makes us feel that way. It makes us feel so broken. Yes, Quinita. I've read the Hands of Light and Emotion Code. Yeah, incredible. Incredible. Does this work with PCOS? It works with literally everything. Is Stephanie here or Meow Wolf? I want to feel 0 as we speak. I feel a 10. Okay, so Amber, you guys get my free guide, you guys. Okay, Stephanie, here you are. So we're going to work on Stephanie. So you guys, I see you guys who have the 10-10 pain and you're dealing with it. Get my free guide. Because I give you the keys for free. The hard thing about giving things for free is some people don't realize the value, but I will tell you the value. I spent 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications to learn these 7 keys. And I give them to you for free. I teach you how to get your yes and your no for absolutely free. That information alone, if every single person on the planet today had the information that I give you for free, the matrix would literally crumble overnight. It would lose all power because those keys give you your power back. Those keys teach you that your intuition, thanks Wildflower, is your literal gift of discernment. That you can know with a 99.9% accuracy why you're in pain, what's caused it, and you can get to the root in literal seconds. So we are going to use these keys with Stephanie. I teach you in my $27 guide how to do exactly what I'm doing. Yes. Question, if someone doesn't know they have trauma, that sits in the subconscious mind. So that's why you use the 7 keys to test, because your subconscious will tell you. Your conscious mind doesn't know there's a trauma, right? But your subconscious does. Your higher self, your soul knows. So when you use the intuitive testing technique that I teach you in my $27 guide, you are literally connecting to your superconscious, your higher self, God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. You are connecting directly to source. He's like, I'm confused. You keep saying 7 keys, but there's 6. Key number 1 is your body is a map. It literally speaks truth. When you silence your truth, you silence your pain. So that is key one. Key one is the pain, the messenger. Okay? Your voice, LOL. Is my voice getting tired? So when you recognize what's causing or what is the problem, money block, bad relationship, PCOS, fibromyalgia, headache, migraine, that is key one. One is the pain, the messenger. Yeah. The other 6 keys will now unlock. So is it physical? We're asking for Stephanie. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? You can memorize those in any order. It doesn't matter. When you get a yes, that is your body telling you, yes, that's it. So then we ask, do I need to know more? And if your body says yes, then we're going to ask more questions. But if my body says, no, you don't need to know anymore, you can clear it instantly. It's done. You learned the lesson. Your messenger gave you the message. Now, guess what? What happens to the messenger when you receive the message? It leaves. The pain leaves. The messenger sent the message. You got it. Thank you. The messenger leaves. The messenger, which is pain, leaves. You got it? Yes, Michelle. Thank you. How do you learn the message? What's the message? The message is in the key, love. Do I have a trapped emotion? Yes. Do I have a generational trauma? Yes. Do I have absorbed energy from someone else? Yes. Do I have something spiritual? Yes. Do I have something past life? Yes. That is the message. Okay? So Stephanie, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So Stephanie, I got a yes to the absorbed key. You guys, I teach you what I'm doing in my $27 guide. You can do this too. She needs to know more. Yes. It's from a family member. Yes. Mom, dad, brother, sister. Stephanie, do you have a sister? She needs to know more. Yes. Age 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, age 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So Stephanie, at age 14 is when you absorbed this energy. Does she need to know more? Yes. Okay. So she needs to know more, it's the emotion. So in my $27 advanced guide, you guys get the digital. I printed and bound mine. So in my $27 guide, you guys, I teach you all the keys. I give you all the charts. So if it is physical, if it is a parasite, which one? If it is a toxin, which one? I also teach you proxy, how to do this for other people. I also teach you money blocks, how to test if you have a money block. Okay? So Stephanie needs to know the emotion that she took from her sister. And so we're going to test which emotion. Okay, it's this page, top half. 51, 52, 53. Unreceived. Unreceived. So that could be anything. Love unreceived, value unreceived, but that was what was absorbed. So unreceived, she can clear that now. So Stephanie, how do we clear? For those of you guys that just joined, we breathe. Breath and unconditional love and holding sacred space for your body to process has been the fastest way I have personally seen people release. I absorbed my friend's anger over menopause. I would be, definitely clear that. My sister wasn't born yet. Ooh, I love this. Do you guys just see what Stephanie said? Her sister was not born yet. So how can she absorb energy from a being that's not even in this world? Can you guys guess? Something unreceived. Any guesses? Through the mother, past life, through God, not born from my mom. Oh, not born from her mom. You can absorb people's energy multidimensionally. I know that sounds weird, you guys. You can absorb energy or take on energy, even if it's not from your own blood sister. It could be a stepsister. It could be someone who's not even born yet. And you can take that on as your own, multidimensionally. maybe from a past life. But whatever it is, you can test. Don't take my word for it, because the last thing I want to do is say something that's not true. This is true for Stephanie. Yes, she can clear this. Yes, this will get her to a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs another key. No. So Stephanie, let me know, let us all know, at the end of the day, you guys, it's just knowing that you have power to clear it. How exactly can that happen? I don't know. She would have to do some questions or answers. There's some things that happen spiritually that I cannot explain, and it clears, right? Kind of like the past life thing. Kind of like we had this lady who had jaw pain, TMJ, neck pain for years. And she was one of the first ladies. She talks about this. She's pretty famous. She teaches past life. All she teaches is past life. And she had an experience that she was actually a slave that had a chain around her neck and a pin that went through the chain that would rest on her jaw. It was so tight. And the second she released that past life, TMJ gone. Please do not take my word for anything. You guys have these keys. You can intuitively be shown things. So they have proven multiple dimensions, okay? They have proven that when you narrow down on a cell and go deep, 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 do you know that we actually go in and out of existence every second? Our cells do. Yeah. So if you have any type of physical pain, you guys use the 7 keys. Sometimes you're going to get something weird. Absorbed energy from who? Sometimes I have to retest to make sure I'm clear. So Stephanie, you let us know. How do you narrow it down? You just ask questions, intuitive questions. So in my $27 guide, I give you questions to ask within each key. And then I have charts too. What are the 7 pins? Oh, the 7 keys. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, abroad. Let you know what. Oh, so just hold space for this pain. And as you're breathing and releasing, let us know if it starts to clear, okay? So you let us know as that starts to clear. So how is Giselle doing? Can you put the guide on Amazon? I could try. I guess I could put the free guide on there, but I don't think they'd let you put free stuff on there. Giselle, I feel light. I feel like I was being held this whole time. No pain. Oh, that's why. That's why it was confusing. Okay, Stephanie, this is for you. This is for Stephanie Colon. There's another Stephanie. So Stephanie, this is for you. That was the wrong Stephanie. Yeah, that's why it was so confusing. Stephanie, did any of that resonate with you? How are you doing, love? Did you have a sister that was 24, or when you were 24, you received that? So you guys, let's send mass love to Giselle, who got to a 0. And then Stephanie Colon, absorbed from her sister. Yes, she needs to know more. Nope. So Stephanie, you let me know. Yes, I did. I think I know what it was. Okay, perfect. You guys, so somebody needed to hear about the other Stephanie absorbing energy from another sister that wasn't even born yet. So for some reason, I had to share about multidimensional healing and that you can absorb something from other people that maybe aren't even in your life. I don't know how or why, but you can use these keys to test. Do you have anything for people surviving narcissistic abuse or trauma? So remember, I said that your trials and your trauma is just your training. So if you have trials or trauma, which we all do in our own capacities, you are going to see which key will unlock that healing for you. That's okay, Stephanie. We're going to test for you, Stephanie, though, okay? Because you're probably like, what the hell is this lady even talking about? And I could feel that energy. I was like, I don't think this girl's... Okay, so Stephanie Salazar. We're going to do the other Stephanie too, just really quickly. Yours is, are you in a 10-10 pain? And do you give me permission? Okay, Tammy, is releasing, clearing, is that one body, mind, releasing trauma? I'm not sure what you mean. So releasing trauma, you can release in many ways, right? So when I use my keys, and let's say I get that it is an emotional, it's emotional. So that could be, it could be a belief system. It could be an actual trauma, sexual, physical. As soon as I get a yes and that I don't need to know more, I just allow that emotion, that energy to leave my body. So for me, I just breathe in unconditional love into that pain, and I see that pain leaving my body. If I need to know more, though, I'm going to ask, what age? What did I feel? What did I take on? Oh, a 10-10 pain. Salazar. Okay, so we got Kiki to a 0, or Kiki got herself to a 0. Muff, how you doing? He got down to a 3. Oh, here he is. I'm worried because I take a bunch of strong pain medication. Cause of the pain, I'm going to have to go, though. Okay, so Muff, you got to a 3. I love this for you. Sometimes when you're clearing through withdrawal, okay, yeah. So just trust your body and trust what you need to do, love. So if you need to take a nap or sleep but check in on your stomach pain, use the keys. But we're so proud of you for how far you got down on this one live. We're so proud of you, Muff. No, I'm not leaving. Okay. You're good. You're good to stay. Okay, so we got Muff to a 3, Chippy to a 0, Giselle to a 0. Stephanie Colin, how are you doing, love? You're at a 2, yes. Perfect. And then Stephanie Colin is... So Muff's down to a 2. Hell yes. Stephanie, I'm stopped hurting but moved to my back. I'm at a 5. Okay, so let's see if there's another key. So you guys, sometimes when the pain clears, it'll move somewhere else, and then that pain will be bigger. So she needs another key. Yes. Because yeah. Okay. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So it's another absorbed key. Yes. She needs to know more. No. So for this back pain, just breathe in unconditional love and see the pain come out through your breath, Stephanie. Thanks for the love, guys. So you guys, everything I'm doing, I teach you exactly how to do it in my $27 guide. You do not need certifications. You do not need courses. You need one $27 guide to teach you exactly what took me 10 years and over $15,000 to learn. You just need your yes and no, which is your intuition. All right, Kim, let's do you, love. Kim, and then, yeah, the other two are here. So let's do Kim. So you guys, currently grieving my brother with 1-year death date, a Thursday. Oh, grief. Okay, Stephanie, let's tap into that grief after we clear Kim real quick, okay? Because I do want to talk about grief. I lost my... Okay. So you guys, you can learn everything I'm learning through the $27 guide. I teach you how to do this, how to do it on other people. This information should be free to everyone. Why do I charge $27? Because I teach you the system that I learned. So I take all of my 10 years and my training and my certifications and I turn it into the most simplest things, Pere. I think I'm saying your name wrong. I need to have you re-say it, but it's beautiful. Everyone should know this information. Thank you, Lisa. Hey, love. She's in my spiritual mastery course too. All my queens are here tonight. Thank you. So you guys, this information should be free. The only reason why I charge even just $27 is because I bypassed 10 years and over 15K of certifications and I put it into a beautiful, easy to understand system. It should be easy. You guys, my kids can do this. If my 7-year-old, my 14-year-old, my 11-year-old can do this, you can do this, okay? Hey, from Toronto. So let's check in with Kim, and then we're going to do Stephanie. So how am I going to use the 7 keys? Stephanie gave me permission, yes. Kim. I'm tired, you guys. It's been a long day. Kim gave me permission, yes. We're going to ask, key number 1 is her body's pain. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Hey, little scholar. Yes, love. I better see you on the live on Monday. I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. Okay, so Kim, past life, persecutions cross, yes. So Kim, I'm not sure how long you've listened, but the persecutions cross is for people who've lived multiple lifetimes being silenced. And in this life, you are meant to step fully into your spiritual gifts to be seen and to be heard. Because you do possess gifts, you need to remember and share to help other people. Yeah, I spent $2,000 for some types of healing. $27 is fine. Yeah, I know. When people come on here and gaslight me for charging, and here you are charging people. And I'm like, you're right. I'm a horrible person. So Kim, as you clear this past life, this will bring you to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. Does she need more keys? No. That was it, Kim. Yes, Muff, my man with the tongue sticking out of the smiley face. Do I have gifts? Yes, you have gifts. We all have spiritual gifts. If you feel like you were meant for more, if you feel like you know that you're meant to help people because you lived through the trauma and the trials, that's hashtag training, you guys. You lived through the training. Now it's time for you to activate your spiritual gifts and turn around and help the people who've experienced what you've experienced. I do not teach these keys because I just certified in a bunch of certifications. That's absolutely not what I do. I embodied each of these keys because I lived through them. I lived through the emotional trauma, the sexual trauma, the physical trauma, the religious trauma. I lived through the generational trauma that was passed down by my dad and my mom multiple generations back. I've lived through the spiritual key. I've had demonic possession. I've been attacked. I've had sleep paralysis. I've had night terrors. I've had absorbed energy. And I've had past life keys. And I've also had grief and trauma. So Stephanie Salazar, right? She lost her brother recently. So yes, we have spiritual gifts. So what is my spiritual gift? It's to embody these keys and help women remember who they are. And to help people remember that their traumas and their trials do not define them. They are literally the reasons why you're here, to help you step fully into those gifts and embody what you teach. So Stephanie, I am so sorry that you lost your brother. Okay, that is so emotionally traumatizing. So when I lost my son to a rare genetic disorder, I did not or could not grieve for almost an entire year because that trauma was just too much for my body to handle in that moment. It was just too much. So my body does what it does best, and it hid that emotion and kind of shoved it down. But it couldn't stay down forever. It had to come up and it had to be processed. And luckily, I had a friend who held sacred space so that I could share and release those emotions that were trapped in my body. So I believe that some of us need time to process and heal because we do not have the mental capacity at that time to grieve appropriately. So you will see mothers who have lost children who have not grieved appropriately in years because they did not know how to, and they didn't know how to hold sacred space to be able to share those emotions. So I was a mom with two other children, and I had a husband, and I had to work, and I had to pay the bills, and I carried all this weight on my shoulders, and I didn't know how to grieve. So with that being said, if you are someone who's been struggling with loss of a child, or any type of loss, because you had your innocence violated and taken from you, because you were so physically traumatized that you had your innocence taken from you, and you haven't been able to process those emotions, it's hard. I feel for you. I can empathize with you because I know what it feels like to lose a loved one. But I also know the power of healing and the power of unconditional love. And I also know that we are eternal beings that will live forever and ever, and that you will see your brother again in his full glory. And you can actually see your brother right now in his full glory, and he can come to you and he can talk to you, and he can bring you comfort, and he can bring you messages. And this is something we can all do. So when my son passed away, I literally spoke to my son face to face. Like, how can that be? I literally spoke to my son and saw his beautiful, full, healed glory. And it was the most healing, sacred experience I've ever had. And so I teach these keys, first of all, to teach people intuition, and to also teach people that you are never not connected to those lost loved ones, ever. Oh, thank you. So, you do not need psychics or mediums or healers to communicate with loved ones. You don't. You just need to remember your sacred gifts and how you receive information. And the first way to start is, how do I get my yes or no? Because you can ask, is my loved one here with me right now? Yes or no? Do they have a message for me? Yes or no? Yeah. So I see a lot of people who've lost people. Beautiful, Stephanie. So, custom made. So I do have my spiritual mastery course, okay? So everything's in the link in my bio. Everything's in my link in my bio. The free guide, the $27 guide, one-on-one. But if there's one message that I want you to walk away from this live, is that I am not your savior. I'm not your healer or a psychic or a medium. What do? I teach you that you are divinely connected, that you do have medium and clear gifts, and you have spiritual gifts. You can 100% connect and speak to your loved ones on the other side of the veil. You can awaken those spiritual gifts, but you want to do it in a safe container. Because I have seen people being manipulated and lied to. Familiars will come in, demons will come in and pretend to be your loved ones. Okay? They know you. They know you before you came to this earth. So they will know how to manipulate and deceive, okay? But my message is that you can have these spiritual gifts. You can activate them. Nobody will ever be able to gaslight you when it comes to your healing, your health, nothing. Like when you learn these keys, you will become unstoppable. Yes, Muff. So my guide, I have a free guide. It's called the Breakthrough Guide. So make sure you're following me, you guys. So, because I'm going to jump off in just a minute here. But make sure you're following me so you don't lose me. I go live. I try to go live every day, but Sundays. You guys, last Sunday I was on live and I'm like, I don't go live on Sundays. Because I thought it was Saturday. And my husband's like, you're an idiot. So if you were on my live on Sunday and you're like, is this girl crazy? I literally thought it was Saturday, but I usually don't go live on Sundays. But that was hilarious. So you guys, make sure you get my guide. All the information, thank you, is in the link in my bio. How do you get there? Just click my picture, and then it'll bring up like all my videos, and you can click on my link there. But please share this. Share the free guide with people who are sick or who are depressed or who feel alone. This is just pure truth. I'm so confused. Yeah. Yes, Stephanie is down to a 1. Heck yes. Haha, it's been a weird week. Yeah, it has been a weird week. And there's timelines are shifting, you guys. Timelines are shifting. For last week, I kept thinking like that Saturday or Sunday was like, it was already going to be the December 1st. I was like a whole week ahead. And I was like, what is happening? Yes, AJ. So AJ, I've spoken with lots of loved ones on the other side. And I've also had demonic attacks. Yeah. So you got to learn how to set those spiritual terms and boundaries, you guys. So Karen, what I would say is I believe everyone can heal themselves even from the C word. Yes. Now, with that being said, you need to get the guide and test the keys with your husband, because there is one thing that I've learned. Some people, and I'm not saying this about your husband, but some people do not want to be healed, and you cannot heal people. So how desperately you want to heal your friends, your family, your mom or dad, sometimes they will choose not to because they don't know anything other than their pain. They almost wear it like it's their identity. So that's why when I teach you how to do this proxy, I teach you how to ask. Sometimes your loved one cannot speak. They're in a coma. So you need to be able to speak and communicate to their higher self and ask, do I have permission to work on you? And if they give you a no, it is a no. Right? because we do not heal people. We hold sacred space and we ask for permission and we tap in, and the people who need to be healed do the healing. Because we cannot spiritually bypass our lessons. Our trauma and our trials are our #lessons training. And so when the time is ready, and if the lesson is learned in the trauma or the pain or the sickness, then the healing comes. But it has to be them wanting it. Thank you, Tammy. It has to be them wanting it. Right? I tried to heal my husband for years. In fact, most of my certifications were to help him with his OCD and autism and all his spiritual gifts. And finally, God is like, what are you doing? That is not your responsibility, girl. No, 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 no. Hey, if you still feel the push to join the course, my course, yes, you'll be certified in the Truth Code. It's more than that. It's learning how to set terms to your spiritual antenna. It's learning how to set boundaries. It's learning how to step fully into the gifts and know your purpose. So my spiritual mastery course, for me, it's a one and done, because you will have mastered your foundation. You will have a solid foundation of truth. So then moving forward, whenever you receive revelation or visions or downloads, they will not be distorted. So as you ask deeper questions and as you receive more information, like the sky is the limit. And even God said, like, I will open up the mysteries of the heaven to you. But he's not going to do that until you have a solid foundation, right? He doesn't give babies steak. He gives them milk, precept upon precept. So he's going to give you a little bit, and then you're going to master that, and he's going to give you a little bit more, and you're going to master that. So with my spiritual mastery course, we master the foundation. So all the women and the one men in my class, I do one-on-one sessions, but my course, it's $397, and you have lifetime access, and I go live every Monday. So you'll be part of a community for a lifetime until you outgrow us and create your own course and your own program to help your people who you're meant to help. You just joined my fan club. Thanks, BB. Okay, you guys, I don't know what the fan club is. I don't really know how to use TikTok, but thank you for joining my fan club. Somebody joined my fan club the other day and they're like, what do I get? I was like, I don't know. You get extra love. Yes, TLB, one-on-one. I'm so excited to meet you in person. Yes, Care Bear. I'm trying to be patient with myself, so please be patient. That is the number one thing. Care Bear, thanks so much for saying that. So TLB, if you want to be in the class, I do have a $35 a month option. He's pop up and trying to teach me these things. Oh, I love that, Karen. Yes, Stephanie, you joined. Yes. So you only go live once a week? No, I go live every day here. In my spiritual mastery course, I go live for 3 hours every Monday because you guys are working for the rest of the week. And you guys, this is not some passive, easy class. This is work. Ask any woman who's in my course. This is work, right? Whatever you water will grow. So if you're not watering the spiritual mastery or taking time in your meditations to learn and ask, that's really where the information comes in. Setting up a one-on-one. Yes, Tammy, I'm so excited to meet you, love. Oh, no, not easy. Yeah, Perry, she's like, no, not easy. She knows. But it's going to be the most funnest thing you ever do. So the first time I was kind of stepping into learning these things, and it was so many incredible downloads. I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is so cool. Like, my dreams are amazing. My gifts are amazing. And it's like a remembrance. You just remember yourself and your gifts, and it's so powerful and it's so beautiful. So do you do what you did tonight every day and night? Yes, except for Sunday. Unless I forget it's actually Sunday and I lie to you and say I don't go on Sundays. But yes, I usually just don't go on Sundays. It's worth the investment. Thanks, Melissa. What causes spiritual illness? I don't know what you mean by spiritual illness. Psychosis? Care Bear, me too. You guys, I didn't step into this till I was 30. I was in my 30s. And I'm 41 now. So yeah, Took me 11 years. I wish I had this when I was 20. I can tell it will be amazing. Yes, thanks, Sammy. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. All right, I promised my husband I would watch an episode with him. Can you guess which episode that's on? But I love you guys so, so much. I will see you tomorrow. And it's probably going to be again at nighttime, so around 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You guys make sure you're following me so that you don't lose me. Make sure you're sharing that free guide. It is truth that everybody needs. Okay, so just share it. And then if you do get the $27 guide and you learn how to do this, share it, share it, share it. Change it to how you need to share it. You're so welcome, Buff. Who everyone thought you used a funny name. I love that. And things are happening so fast. Yes, blessed. You guys, now is the time. We're not playing small. We're not playing small. Stranger Things, that was one of them. All right, good night, you guys. Love you guys. Stephanie, I'm sending you so much love, honey, for your brother. And he hears you and loves you. Yes, Bear. Angie, I'm so sad I missed you, love. I'll be on tomorrow night. Me too, BB. I'm so glad. Okay, so Kim is still working on her pain. She's at a 6. Let me just test if you need another key. Yes. Kim, let me give you just one more key. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Was it still? Did we clear past life? Because that's what it is still. She needs to know more. Nope. So that's a big one, Kim. So make sure you're just sitting with that. Unconditional love. If it's still, let us know tomorrow if you can come on and check in, and we'll mass heart you like crazy. I'm glad I found you too, Gigi. All right, perfect. So Kim, that's it, love. It's just a big one. Persecution's cross, that's a big one. Yes, it could be, yeah, thank you guys. All right, I love you guys. Bye. Have the most amazing